Welcome. In your role as a manager, you spend considerable time with your employees. You talk to them, you guide them, you direct them, you correct them at times, you problem solve, you remove obstacles, and ultimately, you help them to be successful in their performance. One major responsibility is managing employee performance. While it's impossible and impractical to try to control others' behavior, managers can effectively influence performance to help employees achieve goals if done correctly. One of the most important ways to effectively influence performance is through coaching. Coaching is an opportunity for interactive engagement between employees and their managers. Coaching provides an opportunity for real conversations that focus not just on what's wrong, but primarily on what's going well and areas for growth and professional development. If used right, coaching is an effective tool that can help employees successfully set and achieve their goals. Some managers perceive coaching as a soft skill that's not as important as the other responsibilities they have. Effective managers know that coaching is a process, though, that must be used daily and to clarify expectations, to provide feedback and create accountability for employees, which in turn drives higher performance. At the end of the day, there's nothing soft about performance. Employee performance is what creates the hard results that drive personal success and company profits. One of the most common points of critical feedback from employees about their managers is the lack of opportunity for real conversations about goals, performance, and things that get in the way of achieving results. Most employees have something to say that can provide essential feedback to production and department performance. After all, they're the ones who are doing the job every day. Chances are good they already have ideas of ways to improve processes, to increase productivity, and to reduce errors. The key is to incorporate processes like coaching that allows for effective two-way conversations to identify those opportunities. You may think of coaching as a tool to use when employee performance is not at its best. Some equate coaching to counseling, which is typically the first step to improve or correct performance. While coaching can serve as an effective tool when performance falls short of expectations, it's also a tool that can be used proactively to maintain high performance or to move performance from good to great. The goal of performance coaching is not to make the employee feel bad or to focus on the negative. The goal of coaching is to work with the employee to solve performance problems, to find solutions, to identify areas and opportunities for growth and improvement specific to the employee, the team, and the department, or even the company. Employees who respond positively to coaching continue to increase their contributions to their own performance and to that of the company. Employees who don't respond positively to coaching tend to be the ones who may also be resistant to growth or may otherwise struggle in their performance. The time that managers spend coaching employees is time well spent. It seems ironic that many managers find that they spend most of their time with their troubled or their underperforming employees. The most significant value in the time and the energy investment actually comes from the opposite priority. By spending even more time with individuals who are high performers, we can find additional ways to help them become even more effective and more valuable to the company. Now is a good time to begin to try out your coaching skills. If you are somewhat new to the coaching process, here are 8 recommendations that you can use to build coaching into your routine. We will focus this conversation on ongoing performance coaching that is specific to supporting employee performance. Coaching to correct performance, as in corrective action situations, will be addressed in a future segment. Let's start with number 1. Build a relationship of trust. Now, if this is the first time that you engage in coaching, it may throw employees off a bit. In many situations, extended conversations about goals and performance only happen at the time of appraisals or when things aren't going so well. Now, if this is you and you might fall into this category, now's the time to adjust. Employees need to feel as though visiting your office is a positive event, or at least not negative. Find opportunities to visit with your employees and have regular conversations. Get to know them better and build a relationship of trust before you try to engage in coaching. Number 2, open the meeting. Now it's up to you as to how you want to engage in your coaching. When it makes sense to have a coaching conversation, it may be something that's scheduled, something that is recurring like a monthly check-in, or it may just happen sporadically. But when the moment's right, never give up on an opportunity to take advantage of a good coaching moment. Whatever the environment, whether formal or informal, such as the employee's workstation, be sure to begin so the employee knows that you are engaging in coaching. Number 3, set the stage. If this is a scheduled or a normal coaching event with the focus of reviewing goals, you can indicate that that is your plan to discuss your status and the employee's goals. You can begin with a comment such as, "Jim, I wanted to visit for a little bit about your progress towards your goals." From there, you can simply open up the goals module within Oracle, review the goals, and make comments in the manager's comments section. If it's spontaneous, where you just visit the employee at his or her workstation, for example, you may start into the conversation and set yourself up to share your perspectives or review goal process. Number 4, get agreement. As you begin the conversation, get agreement from the employee about the status. If a goal is complete, be sure that both of you agree that it is complete. If it's in progress, be sure that both of you mutually agree upon the specific status of the goal or the project. And if it's incomplete, or if there hasn't been enough progress made towards accomplishing the goal, be sure to discuss it openly and ensure that both parties recognize where the employee is at on the goal and what more needs to be done. Number 5, explore alternatives. If you are simply reviewing goals with the employee, recognize great performance and any other accomplishments by the employee. If they are on schedule or ahead of schedule, recognize that and ask if there's anything that you can do to continue to support their goals. If progress is not meeting expectations, spend some time asking questions to understand why they're not meeting the expectations. If they're behind, ask them what's causing their delay. If they're not meeting expectations of quality or deliverables, ask questions to understand their perspectives. This may help you to identify barriers or conflicts, misunderstandings, or any kind of lack of clarity with the expectations. In cases where you coach due to poor performance or bad behavior, be sure to spend some time asking them about ways that they can improve. If the employee can provide solutions to their own problems, this can help them to gain greater commitment, as it is going to be their solution and they are going to do better to work towards it. This will also help you as the manager to follow up on their expectations that they set for themselves. Number 6, get commitment to act. In situations where goals are not meeting expectations and after you explore alternatives where the employee comes up with some ideas, be sure to clarify the commitment. Identify specifically what is to be done and by when. As you set the specific expectations, it will again give you criteria that you can use to follow up and hold the employee accountable. Number 7, handle excuses. Coaching is intended to create an environment where both sides can be objective and talk openly about the situation, about the goals, and how to improve outcomes. However, there may be times when the employee will feel as though you're picking on them or that they otherwise need to defend themselves. They may offer excuses to justify where they're behind, why they're not performing, or why their behavior does not meet expectations. In those cases, it is very easy to simply tell them that there's no excuse for the situation. However, rather than completely shutting them down, acknowledge your recognition of their challenge. Then express support and confidence in their ability to make the required changes. If the excuses are valid, spend some time discussing them and ways to overcome the challenge. If, however, they're just simply making excuses that don't hold water, rather than spending time negating those excuses, instead acknowledge that the employee has excuses and let's move on to the solution and the commitment. Number 8, provide feedback. Finally, it's time to provide feedback both now and in the future. Feel free to provide any additional feedback that you think will help them to feel confident and to help them focus on future performance. Following your meeting, be sure to provide a lot of feedback. If they're making progress, compliment them on it. If they're moving past obstacles and starting to overcome the previously stated challenges, be sure to recognize their efforts and their progress. However, if they continue to fail to meet expectations, be sure to continue to provide corrective feedback that will allow them the opportunity to make improvements. If, despite ongoing feedback, the performance and the behavior does not improve, that's going to require some additional attention. So while these are not all-inclusive, nor should they necessarily be followed step by step in every situation, these may help you to begin the conversation. Remember, it's rarely ever a bad time to begin coaching, and by coaching now, it should become more comfortable the more you do it.